Cutting and pruning is always very satisfying within the garden, and it's an important maintenance aspect to take care of, sometimes on a monthly and sometimes on an annual basis. The point is, what do we do with all the stuff? If I had to take these guys and put it onto my compost heap, well, it's going to take eons for me to get any form of usable compost. We know that when making compost, you need to use smaller bits and chop it up. So you could manually chop it up, but that too is going to take a while. If you want to know how to make compost, check out the link in the description below, because that gives you the 101 on how to make your own compost successfully. Now, besides the fact of having all this garden waste, generally what ends up happening is that we've either got to hire a trailer or we've got to borrow a bakkie to take away all our garden refuse. But folks, this here is waiting to turn into something amazing for your garden. This can be compost, this could be mulch, this in turn could be full of organic matter that you can use to feed your soil. And think about it, like these dahlias that I've got here. We have removed them all out the garden, all the tops, they're full of nutrition. And if we can put that back into the garden, what a fantastic way to recycle, upcycle and reuse. This is where a garden shredder comes in as #1 solution. It will take garden waste and turn it into mulch, eventually into compost, where you are adding amazing organic content back into your garden and your soil. So let me show you how this little beast works. This is the Ryobi RGS garden shredder. It's an electric machine that comes without the cord that would need to be purchased additionally. It has an on-off switch. It has an overload switch should anything get jammed in the blades. If something does get jammed in the blades, it's important to follow the following instructions. #1, unplug it. Make sure there's no power going into the machine. #2, undo the toggle just above the on-off switch and then simply open up the machine. There, the blades will be revealed. They're 2 blades that work in a circular motion. The great thing about this shredder is that the blades are interchangeable. So once they've become blunt on the one side, you use the Allen key provided, undo them, swap them over, and only once they're blunt on both sides do you need to take them in for sharpening. So this garden shredder can take branches up to 45 millimeters in diameter. Interestingly enough, they even put a picture there. And they also put a picture where no hands should go into this section. Now, it really is common sense, guys, because there is an aperture opening here which actually shows 45 millimeters. So you cannot put a branch thicker than that in there. If you do, you are breaking the rules. To help get your product and your garden waste into and fed into the machine, you provided with a garden paddle. And the paddle is also for safety reasons to stop you trying to put your hands in here. However, on that note, the blades are actually far down into the machine. So a lot of people get quite nervous and they say, "Oh, I'm too scared to use it, it's going to eat my fingers off." Well, consider the length of the paddle. This paddle, once inserted, still is not touching the blades. So that should give you peace of mind of the safety behind the design of this machine. The garden shredder is also supplied with a waste bag. As you're operating the machine, the fines are then shot through the chute. If you've got the bag in place, they will either then go into the bag, or without the bag, you will then just create a pile. Before we get started, one more thing. I always keep a pair of safety goggles, which I put on top of my glasses, just in case something does shoot out. I always have a pair of gloves, which certainly just helps me as well when I'm handling large bits of unruly garden waste. And I have a lopper close by because I never, ever want you or I to get tempted to try and push a branch through here that should not fit. So rather, put it down, cut it, and then feed it into the machine. Is this machine not pure joy at its highest level? #1, it's a whole lot of fun, but don't tell anybody. #2, it just eats up the branches effortlessly. You can actually see how the blades actually chomp it and with the force pull it down. So really the effort that I was putting in was minimal, but the reward of what we're getting at the end, which is this. money cannot buy. This beautiful mulch used on the garden, in garden beds, put in your compost heap, not only smells good, but it looks good too. And I'm putting all this organic matter back into my garden. And that improves so much in terms of what we do as gardeners, not only for our gardens, but also for the planet. So don't let your garden waste go to waste. Guys, get hold of a shredder. It's going to change your life, and I literally mean it. Remember, these guys are available at your local builders, either in store or online. Also check out the blog, because there's really amazing educational content, DIYs and how-to videos to turn you into a green-fingered guru. Get to builders and get it done.